an ugly performance out in Winnipeg. Playoff dreams virtually over. The Edmonton Elks, they fall to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers 55-27. But one thing I will say is that that score, I would say, is maybe even still a little bit flattering to the Edmonton Elks. Welcome to the Green and Gold post-game show. Matt Iwanyk, what should have been Jay Milne, he's passing it along to Dean Belanger. You may remember Dean from the Hangout. Dean, full credit, came to Centric Casino with the Edmonton Elk, or our Double E watch party, our EST watch party, but he still showed up in his Winnipeg gear. He got to celebrate tonight. Not a lot to celebrate for anyone else here. Yeah, you're not going to do the whole post game here.
Oh no,
I won't allow you.
No.
It's a good win for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
It was a solid performance from start to finish. Great first quarter, and very good game for you.
Well, I won't get into that just off the bat. That we'll save later for the post-game show. But
Peace out,
Winnipeg
baby.
gone. Winnipeg, we can't allow that anymore. There's a lot to discuss in this game. The best parts of this game, at least from an Edmonton's perspective, was really watching the chicken eating contest that we had going on that Jay put on. It was the fact that we have all these nasties here for the EST watch party. Beyond that, there wasn't a lot to really get excited for when it came to this football game, as the Elks did fall to the Bombers. Fell 17-0 right after the first quarter. The Bombers' first 4 possessions offensively, it was touchdown, field goal, touchdown, I believe it went. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown. It just wasn't good enough. And the Edmonton Elks just couldn't get anything going today, starting with the defense. When you give up 55 points, there's not much else that should really need to be said. I will also throw this out there, that while the Elks made their little bit of a comeback, when the Bombers needed to turn it on after it got to a 21-point game, the offense just came out and went, oh, that's cute. And then they just finished it off. They allowed the Elks kind of back in it, and then they ended this game. Jay, I know for you, you're watching this going, I don't know where to go with this.
Yeah.
I'll just start with your thoughts on this game, and then we'll go where we need to take this.
This was just a complete domination by, see you guys, Penner's Pancakes and Sparky the Welder? No, Bryce and Sparky.
Yes. Bryce was the winner.
Bryce was the winner.
There's Big Uke.
Big Uke. It was just domination. I don't know what else to say, Matty. Winnipeg came out. They had the tempo from the start of the game. They scored. This defense was like Swiss cheese. It was just it was the exact opposite effort you would hope to see out of a team that's fighting for their lives, playoff-wise, that is. Just lackluster. So, I mean, as much as you want to, I guess I'll just say this. Football is such an interesting game. Consistency matters. Consistency is everything. This team has been streaky all year, so I guess at the end of the day, there's something that needs to change, other than just, we've done this change, we've done the thank you, we've done the GM coaching change, we've done the quarterback changes. It's just maybe not the right pieces. I don't know. That was an embarrassing effort. And I will say this, Matty. When we were coming out of, we weren't even at halftime. I gave you a bump on the arm, and I said, "Look, as far as I think it was 34-3, or it was out of reach." But I said this team can still come back.
Yeah,
they could. The problem is that their defense was nowhere to be found.
No.
Literally.
But also, and we saw a point where the Elks got it to 21.
Yeah.
But then the Winnipeg offense was, as I said, it's like, hold my beer. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
And they came out and put out, when this game was out of reach, Kenny Lawler caught 2 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
You're not throwing to Kenny Lawler in general blowouts. Like, you're running the football, you're just trying to kill the clock, you're chipping away. But they went and they were airing that ball out later, because it was like, oh, okay, you think you can get close? Well, no. We're going to show you that we're going to put you at bay, and what you got was nice.
Yeah.
But we're going to finish this off. I do want to get into one thing, but here's something that stood out after the first quarter, where to me the game was over. Net yards after the first quarter. Winnipeg was 205. Edmonton was 27. Second down conversions. Winnipeg was 6 of 7. Edmonton was 1 of 4. It was, as I've already said, 17-0 after the first quarter. And they scored early in that start of the second quarter to make it 24-0. Like, this game wasn't even close. But the one thing I was thinking throughout that first half was something I thought about last week, which was when the Elks went on their run of 5 of 6.
Yeah.
We put, I think it shows, we put a little too much stock into them just winning and not enough into who did they beat. That they went out and they beat Saskatchewan, and
Dawson Nielsen, take care.
They went out, they beat Saskatchewan, and I'll give them credit for Saskatchewan because at that time Saskatchewan was playing well. But they beat a Jake Dolagala BC Lions defense, or a team. They then beat a Hamilton team who had just benched Bo Levi for Taylor Powell. He got hurt in the game. It was just a disastrous time for Hamilton at the time. And they beat Calgary twice, who were awful.
Yeah.
And I guess in the end, I overrated who the Edmonton Elks were. I wasn't the only one. Farhan Lalji at the time was saying Grey Cup contenders too. But in the end, maybe when we look back, we have to go and, okay, this team maybe wasn't just as good as we thought that they were. That they got on a stretch of, one, they hit lightning in a bottle. They were just playing really well at a great time, but also the opponents they were playing. What did Tube Socks give? He gave me an analogy. Oh, it was in Seinfeld when Kramer was doing well at karate, and then when you go to karate and you realize he's going up against little kids.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the Edmonton Elks for a period where it wasn't fully little kids, but yeah, they're better than the lower teams, but they're not good enough to still be in that upper echelon, and that's what we saw today. No,
that's a good point, and you can point to so many things. I mean, and you know what, Maddie, it's funny, but no, it's not funny. It's reality. Is that in times like this, I really like to listen and look at what the core of the fan base, which are the people listening, watching, and thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. It tells the story. They're not dummies. The people that are watching and listening and tuning in right now have a very good take on it. JC the Glazer said, "This is by far the worst tackling double E team I've ever seen." That is a fantastic point, and his rant's not even over yet, but that is a great point. And I actually think it's like an epidemic. I think that you're no longer, you're not allowed to tackle like you normally would, so you're trying to hit people. You know what I mean? But
what does wrapping up have to do with headshots?
It doesn't. It's just the psyche. If you're throwing your body into somebody or you're putting your head in there and you're following it with a wrap-up.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I guess.
Rarely does the first person make the tackle. It's been atrocious all year. I'm done, fellas. After 20 years, I'm not renewing my... Wow. After 20 years, I'm not renewing my seats next year. This organization has went from the flagship franchise to an absolute embarrassment. Sad days, he says. We'd be remiss to really disagree all that much.
I wouldn't say, if this was last year, I'd say a total embarrassment. There are still positives I look at this team moving forward.
Name 4.
4 of the reasons is they've got a good running game.
Positive.
They've got a great running game. The offensive line has been way better this year than I could have ever imagined.
Yep.
They've got a great punter. I know that's not sexy. They've got a great receiving core.
It's a point.
And for me, I still have hope in Trey Ford. And we'll get to quarterbacking talk in a bit here. I do have hope in Trey Ford. Things don't turn around. Doesn't happen with just a snap of the finger.
No, it doesn't.
Chris Jones is gone. There's a positive. It's a brand new, here's the one thing I will say. You've got a brand new owner who's just taken over this team.
And is highly motivated.
Highly motivated. He's going to hire a president who's not part of this team, who's going to then make the decisions on that. That changes is coming.
Yeah.
This isn't the franchise the last number of years. they are also have more wins this year. I know this isn't a great thing, but they have more wins this year right now than they'd have in the last 2 years. It was 4 wins. Right now they're at 5. And I still think they're going to go win some football games. So I wouldn't go as far as like a total embarrassment. What JC the Glazer wants to do with his money, and I won't. I have nothing to say on that. That's your money. Do as you wish.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like, if you don't want to spend right now on this team until they start actually winning football games against the bigger teams, 100%, fine. That I'm not going to say anything. But to say they're total embarrassment right now, today was.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, throwing away a little too much of some of the good we have seen over the last few weeks.
Yeah, there have been flashes of brilliance. There's been, lightning in a bottle, like you alluded to earlier, that has happened. It's just not the consistency. See you, T-Roy. Have a great night, Godfather. The problem is, it's just they can't put it together.
No.
And I've been trying to fight and make Jerry S. Jackson the right guy. I just don't think there's enough. Something's missing from that locker room for a team to come out and get manhandled like that. That's not.
Most men's versus boys tonight. Almost.
That's a mentality, Matty. That's not a. They're all the same size. They're all as fast as each other.
Yeah.
It's not. Oh my gosh, this team's from Raymond and this team's from Grand Prairie. Okay, it's not that. These are all pros. To come out and get bodied like that is a mental state, and it wasn't there. And it's astonishing that can even happen at a professional level. So now I have no reason other than to say, like, I don't know, like that we talked about in the pregame or the Green and Gold kickoff show, that this was a way for Jay Jack to come out and say, no, I'm the guy to do, like.
Well, Tube Socks asked me something about, Jerry's being the coach next year. And I was like, if you asked me, and this was like 8 o'clock. I was like, if you asked me 2 hours ago, I'd say there's a good chance.
Right.
You ask me now, I don't think so. Because the 2 biggest games of your season, you lose last week.
Yeah.
Now, closer game.
Yeah.
But you didn't get it done. And then you go out this week, and you get decimated. You get absolutely destroyed. And maybe we're a little too quick to rush to judgment on certain things. Again, maybe this goes back to we were praising Chris Jones for being a good general manager. Maybe this once again proves Chris Jones wasn't as bad of a general manager as we thought, but still wasn't as good of a general manager because the players weren't there.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, that this is such a funny season that what we're saying right now really doesn't mean that much if Saskatchewan loses tomorrow.
No, if Saskatchewan loses tomorrow, they're 3 points back.
I know.
You take on Saskatchewan next week, you got to win. You're 1 point back with 2 games to go.
So
you're right there still in that play.
You have to keep that
you're
in
really
in
cheering for Ottawa tomorrow.
Yeah.
What time's that game?
Yeah,
because
it's a big game.
1 o'clock, Ottawa in Saskatchewan. Yeah, you're going to be wanting to tune to CTV for that one.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't even. I haven't even pulled up the numbers, Matt, because I'm just so frustrated.
They weren't great except for me as a CFL. The Golden Bears just scored a touchdown. They're up 28-14 pending the extra point against the Huskies, so that's good news. The numbers, here's the one thing, and I could point to other games this year too, but the numbers don't tell the full tale always. MBT was 223, 19 of 34 for 3 touchdowns. But again, those 3 touchdowns didn't come at exactly the best of times, and Winnipeg was starting to play back a little bit. Justin Rankin played well today.
He did.
He had
great.
over 100 yards once again.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. I thought with the Bombers keen in on him all week, he still found his yards. He still ran, and that wasn't in garbage time or when the Bombers were kind of up huge. He found it throughout the course of the game, so I'll give him credit on that one. But just in the end, this isn't there's going to be criticisms of the offense for 2-and-outs. At one point, I counted 6 2-and-outs. I'd have to go count again. I don't know. They added no more. I think they had 6 2-and-outs. And that's not good for a defense for the rest. But to start the game, you're as rested as you can.
Yeah.
And again, it was touchdown, field goal, touchdown, touchdown. 71 yards, 52 yards, 61 yards, 74 yards for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Yeah, you'd maybe like the offense to get a little bit more yards to keep that defense off a little bit more. But I'm sorry. When you get beat the way Nick Dembski beat that secondary, or I could go to the other Nick Dembski touchdown and how, to what JC the Glazer was pointing out, 3 or 4 possible chances to tackle him, and you can't, he ends up in the end zone.
Yeah.
I don't care about the 2-and-outs from the offense as much. I don't care about what was happening fully there. You just weren't good enough defensively, and you're never going to win a football game with that type of defense. Well, you can't expect your offense to score 56 points to win a football game, you know?
Let me interject, because as all the listeners know, and those people that, you know, if you're first, you know, if this is new to you and you're just tuning in for the first time, we always like to bring up positives about the game, as bad as it was. And you know what was the positives tonight? I'll get to you.
We can do that later.
Yeah. All the nasties that showed up.
Yeah.
See you, Jason? This was a nasty celebration. This was a watch party. It was great. I have not met Penner's Pancakes in person. I have not met, who? I've never met Zach before. Zach's come.
Who, by the way, in the wing eating contest.
Well, and hang on. And then the wing eating contest. That was legendary. That actually worked out.
Zach finished second, and I'm so impressed by him.
That little, he's not a little guy. He's a tall dude.
But he was
up against like the likes of Big U.
Yes.
And the Combine crew, both of them.
It was.
And then T-Roy, the Godfather. Zach waxed all of them.
Zach was confident going
Welder. Yeah.
I could see in Zach, he felt like he could do this.
Well,
but it's like, okay, let's see it. And one wing separated Zach from being the champ of the first ever EST Watch Party Wing Contest presented by Jay Milne. And
no, it's presented by Centric Casino.
And Centric Casino.
Thank you to Centric Casino for bringing out the wings. It was perfect timing.
They did great.
They even had chips on the side.
Yes. Which I want to throw out there.
Yeah.
We did not make them do it. They brought chicken wings out with the sides of chips. Jay counted them, make sure they're all the same. But do they have to do the...
I didn't count any of them.
Don't have to say that out loud.
I know, but we're whispering. See a dash. Oh, yeah, green and gold. Those
nice kicks.
Those are the kicks of the day.
But, okay, here's the...
They do it on the morning show.
Yeah, I heard that today. Yeah.
Stop whispering.
Yeah. But should have they had to eat the chips? Because we said no.
No, it was a wing challenge.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure about that.
Yeah, I didn't count any of them. I said that in real time, but I didn't. But, I mean,
I believe you.
I trust the staff here at Centric Casino Sports Bar.
I'm going to say this. I trust that they got the right amount of poundage. I don't know if they got the right amount of wings.
Okay, wait. So you're saying, hang on. When you order a pound of wings at a restaurant or a casino, sports bar, and lounge, do you think they put it on a scale first?
I think they have an idea of how much they are.
Yeah, it's a number of wings. Because they're all pretty uniform.
It's a number?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. I have no idea what goes on behind there. I've never been in that type of spot. But no, it was a lot of fun here at Century. It's too bad we didn't have more of an enjoyable game to watch, but it's actually nights like this that are perfect for watch parties too. Yeah. Because imagine if it was just you or I here.
Right.
I would have bet so much more on the ponies. And you would have been out there on the roulettes, and we wouldn't have been following any of the ends of this game because it was that big of a disappointment. But also credit, I got to say, like last week I said the Elks lost, the Bombers didn't win. The Bombers dominated today. Yes. The Bombers showed why they have been to 4 straight Grey Cup games, why they deserve right now to be the best in the West, why they are, to me now, the best in the Canadian Football League. It's not close. They showed it. And as I said,
I don't think
to me they did. Zach Collaros threw 6 touchdown passes today.
You think they're the best in the CFL?
Who's better?
I just think
I don't trust Montreal right now. Sure, but I don't think there's anyone else better. Mm-hmm. And I think the Winnipeg Blue Bombers sent a message across the Canadian Football League and said, we are the best. Come take the belt.
Winnipeg scored 7 touchdowns.
Yeah. And again, I'll go back to like when it got to a 3-touchdown game, they came out and they put up some. I got to see if I could quickly find how this went. So it was 31-0. Then it was 34-3.
That's what I said, 34-3 at half.
But then it got to, the Elks got it to 41-20, so a 21-point ball game.
Yeah.
Then the Bombers scored 2 more touchdowns. They're like, hold on a second, go away. they picked it up. Kenny Lawler had a Kenny Lawler game. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
Brady Oliveira was outstanding today. And Zach Collaros, who has not had a good season. He has not been Zach Collaros.
Till tonight.
Touchdown passes. And that defense was brilliant. Now, they gave up a little too many points for my liking afterwards.
He was 21 of 26.
Yes.
For 432 yards.
Yes. They sent a message to the Canadian Football League today, and I got to give them full credit.
I take back my comments from earlier.
I got to give them full credit.
I take them back.
Yeah.
Can you?
That's
you have
fair.
to.
I acknowledge it.
Okay,
I acknowledge that you've taken
good.
it back. The Edmonton Elks, they fall 55-27 to the Bombers. This is the Green and Gold post-game show, kickoff show. Wish it was the kickoff show so we could maybe try that again. It's the post-game show on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in iHeartRadio as well as for those watching on YouTube. And thank you to those who are listening on the podcast. The Bears still leading, though. 30-20, 12 and a half to go in the fourth, pending the extra point, though. I do got to get into MBT discussion with Trey Ford.
Okay.
Look, you made a comment. You got to listen to what the crowd and all that. There was a Trey chant, get him in today.
Yep.
I guess I'll start with, are you surprised we didn't see Trey go in at all today?
No, because they said they're sticking with MBT, but that also leads me to believe that now there's nothing to lose. Now is your opportunity to just say, MBT, you might as well go on vacation. Okay? It's Trey's time now.
Well,
why else? What else are you going to do?
Yeah.
What excuse are you going to give us now?
I guess the only thing I will say is what happens tomorrow with Ottawa and Saskatchewan.
You leave it?
If Ottawa beats Saskatchewan, I'll be very intrigued in how they proceed from there. Because 1 point. If Saskatchewan beats Ottawa, you're 5 points back, you're done. You're finished.
Yeah.
Right? It's over. And at that point, there is nothing you should do but start Trey Ford. Let him play the 3 seasons. Because even you said it in the kickoff show, you don't know if he could be the future starting quarterback.
No, but you got to find out.
No, but that's how you find out is if the games are whatever now, go play him.
There's
right?
no meaningless football game if you're a professional athlete.
No, I know, but they're for this season, for 2024, they become meaningless, right? In terms of making the playoffs. So now there shouldn't be a question.
Mrs. Cal.
Sarah, your whole plan moving forward is about 2025. So yeah, you play Trey Ford in those 3, and like I agree that there's a lot of people playing for jobs at that point, but there's no point in playing MBT at that point.
No.
But if Saskatchewan loses tomorrow, it's 3 points back. I'd be very intrigued to see where Jarius takes this and where Jarius goes, because you take Trey out after last week because he didn't perform. Well, today, in the end, the offense didn't perform. And you could sit there and say, some will sit there, MBT wasn't as bad, but he also didn't get anything done. And it's...
Well, Tango says
he's no longer the hot. He's no longer the hot hand.
People, I think, are genuinely surprised that Trey did not come in.
I'm not.
At that point, what was the point?
Here's what I would say.
This game was over in the first half.
Trey has come in a lot to save things, to save seasons, to save games or something. There comes a point where you got to let MBT finish this off. If he was good enough to start, let him finish it. Why put Trey out there tonight?
Yep.
With what was going on. Why put him out there when the score is 55-20? What's the value? Let MBT finish this game off and go with Trey next week. Start Trey against the Saskatchewan Roughriders and see what happens moving forward. And to me, if I'm Jarius, though, I just name a starter for the rest of the season, barring injury. There's no point in doing anything else. If you're going to go with Trey, just say Trey's going to be the guy for the rest of the season and see how this goes. Or if you're going to go with MBT, just make it definitive. We're done.
Yeah.
We're going with either of these guys. This is who we're going with. We're going to take it from here.
Scalding Gourd, hire Chris Morris, an Alberta Golden Bears hockey player, became coach of the Oilers and then went on to the finals. Hey, it can't be any worse of a theory than about 163 that will be floating around. To which he adds, if only the Elks showed the hunger of the wing-eating contestants. And I agree with you, Gord, on the hunger. I don't agree with you on hiring Chris Morris. He's got unfinished business in Canada West. And I don't even know if that would even... He likes tutoring and mentoring young men. He doesn't like babysitting old, athletes. So yeah, but the question is, Stealth Legends, I don't care if Saskatchewan wins tomorrow or not. Trey Ford starts the rest of the season. Macbeth does not deserve this team anymore. His last chance was tonight, and he blew it. Adam S.
I'm not saying he should start MBT. I'm just curious how the Jerrys would take this if Saskatchewan loses tomorrow.
Yeah, that was a pretty deflating loss, though, Matty. I mean,
I know.
Trey
But
Ford.
Trey's last loss was deflating too. No. Keep going.
Is there a kitty cat on the set? No. Adam S. Bet they will still give MBT last game of the season as a swan song sent off into the abyss of retirement. I don't know about that.
No, it's not like this guy has been here for many years that you're giving him that.
Dash says, never mind Chris Morris. Maybe we should hire Chris Jones. You gotta love it. Yeah, 55 points, and Snar's Tax has been on it since the start of our program. What a defense! 55 points. We can't overlook that. You can say all you want about MBT, and Matty, you said it best. I mean,
you can't expect to win 56 to 55.
MBT did not throw an interception tonight. So the first half, it's like Trey Ford. What did Trey Ford do? What did Macbeth do to get pulled out of that? That's been the frickin' problem all year.
The argument would be 27 net yards in the first quarter, 1 and 4 second downs.
But Macbeth doesn't drop that pass. No. I mean, I guess as much as we love Justin Rankin, that's 2 weeks in a row that a turnover has come at his direct offering. One off his helmet, one off his hands for a touchdown tonight. Right?
I will say, that is...
Don't throw the ball to Justin Rankin. That's what I would say.
That is the story to me of MBT as an Elks quarterback, his tenure. It's
the bad luck guy. Almost.
It's almost
I don't mean that as an excuse.
I know, but that's maybe the best. It's not his fault.
The shucks guy.
But he never does anything to overcome. You look at the numbers, you look at games, and you go, well, it's not this isn't all on him. But then you also be but he hasn't done anything to elevate. Yeah. So I think that the shucks guy. Yeah. And that's kind of
I meant that literally.
No, I know.
And it's not an excuse-bearing comment. It's just...
You look at that 0-4 start when how close some of those games were. Tonight, if I had to put a ranking on who I'm blaming for this loss, it's not starting with MBT.
Yeah.
It's starting with the 12 guys on defense that just couldn't get a stop at all. But, MBT 3 touchdowns. Didn't throw an interception. But at the same time, it's just never his fault. And that, to me, is going to define the MBT tenure here in Edmonton.
It's funny. Question comes in about time of possession.
I was just looking it up after seeing that.
It's actually always worse. It's always closer than you think.
Yeah.
I honestly mean that. It was 31 minutes, 31-37 for Winnipeg, 28-23 for Edmonton. It's never bad. It's turnovers, 3 Edmonton, Winnipeg nothing. Touchdowns, 3 Edmonton, Winnipeg 7. Other than that, the stats, it's just the big plays hurt. This was reminiscent of an early green and gold team this year where the big plays burnt them. Zach Colaros, look at his, just wait, hang on. Look at Zach's stat line. 21 completions for 432 yards.
Well, there's 2 points in the game I want to point to. One is it was 10-0. Edmonton was at the Winnipeg 50 in the first quarter, and they couldn't get the 3rd and 1, the short yardage. Next play, Bombers throw for a touchdown. It's 17-0 for the Bombers. But Dakota Prukop can't go and punch that in for short yardage. Also, I do just have to ask this question. I marked it down. So there's 5 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah.
It's 31-0 for the Bombers. The Elks are at the Winnipeg 10, and it's 3rd and 2. Why are you kicking a field goal?
That went over like a lead balloon in this room.
I don't get that one. Like, that's not even, you could say, well, you're trying to play for the tiebreaker points-wise. Because you already lost the first game.
Yeah.
Like, you're 3rd and 2 from the Winnipeg 10 with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Just go for the touchdown. You're telling me you can't get 2 yards, one, to get a first down, but those 3 points really mattered? I'm sorry, that I didn't understand at all from Jarius Jackson of why you would be conservative at 31-0 on the Winnipeg 10 when you need 2 yards with 5 minutes to go. Made no sense.
Obvious. It was obvious, Matt. It was for point difference.
Like that.
It was terrible.
The only thing I could see is him saying, we just need to get a point on the board.
Maybe let's get some positive vibes going here in the half.
But when Boris Beatty started coming out, the people here were just, what is going on here? What are you doing? So that's something I want. But yeah, that turnover on downs from Dakota Prukop, that was a crushing moment because it was already 10-0.
He had the audacity to stand up and say, oh no, we got it.
I know. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close.
Shut up. What are you doing?
But it wasn't even close. They got to Winnipeg's side of the field. Yeah. And just couldn't get it. It's the 50s, the last 2 games. Last week they were at the Edmonton 50, and Trey Ford threw that interception. Today they get to the Winnipeg 50, and they get the turnover and downs. And again, the very next play, 61 yards for a touchdown, we fall for the Bombers, and that just kind of blew this thing open.
As we mentioned earlier, Matty, one of the biggest highlights of the night was the halftime wing competition. And I want to bring in second place finisher Zach Ice Cube to just give his take on what happened. So Zach, do you want to step on for a minute? I want to give you your rundown. Yeah.
I think my Hurricanes also just won their college football game, so that's great.
Oh.
So Zach, how did you feel you went? How was that wing in contest? How confident were you going into that?
Well, I was confident that I'd place in top 3. I think there was 6 contestants.
You were second.
I was second. Yeah, I was second.
You were 1 behind. You had one left.
Yeah, but coming into the event,
I see what you're
thought
saying.
that I would place at least top 3.
Afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. And I was very confident. I mean, I could be a quick eater. I'm known as I've always been known as snackery or snack to come around the office. I'm always the vacuum picking up everything. But when I have a full plate of wings in front of me, I can demolish them in however long I want to. If I want to take 20 minutes, sure. I can eat them in 5 minutes. I had a full meal after. I was still hungry. So when I sat down in front of the plate, I was right front and center in the event, in the contest, and I felt like I was duped. I felt like I was snubbed a little bit, and that's not against the judge. Jay did a great job laying out the rules and what we had to follow. Huh?
Yeah, if you're calling out, you're saying you got snubbed. There's only one person that you could go at.
Well,
it's the judge.
I don't want to point any fingers, but
before you continue, I will just say, Sarah, all gas, no brakes. So that was you out there.
All gas, no brakes for sure, and. I inhaled those things. I heard it was close going down to the wire. There was some play calling by Jay, which was great, the announcement. And I had like 3 wings left. Drums left, and I just demolished them. I ate them like a lollipop. Like, just boom. Done, finished. Straight.
Damn it.
Here's Jazz.
Sorry, Miami just screwed it up, and Miami lost in college football.
Tough game.
It was a tough game. But no, all the ponies are here. This is a great vibe down here. I'm glad we had that happen. And somebody came up to us asking if we were betting on it. Like, is this a bet? Were there any wagers? I'm like, well, no, I wish there was, because I would have bet on myself. And that's what I did entering it. And I placed second. And I'm happy, but I'm a bit of a sore loser. And like I was saying, I would rather be a sore loser than a sore winner. Because, I mean, if you lose, you could say this and that and whatever. You might seem like a poor sport, which I kind of came off as, but I gave the champ their well-deserved respect. And, Bryce, right? Bryce was the winner. He did a great job, and I was just happy to be a part of it. I want to do it again. I need redemption.
Perfect. Maybe next year. We'll switch back to Jay. Well done, Zach. I'm proud of you. You did a great job. For no one that cares except me, the Miami Hurricanes somehow blew it to the Virginia Tech and lost on the last play of the game.
The Coupe.
Stupid Hurricanes. How do you lose on this last second play? That one's frustrating. Frustrating night with that. The Golden Bears need to.
No breaks.
The Golden Bears need to turn this around because my football teams are not having a good night tonight.
Fancy 5 cents.
Oh, it's Saskatchewan's
performance of the year candidate.
Possible. Well, that's on-air performance. Gutsia's performance is suffering on air.
Dustin did record it.
No, like on air on a show. Yeah, doing a full shift.
Bears are going full Elks here.
Again, my teams aren't doing great. That
my gosh, you missed them wide open.
That was a touchdown.
Great jersey. You know, the Coob loves everybody. JL.
JL, Sandy has not returned to Sandy.
Yes, not.
Sandy is not.
We're actually
it's done.
like genuinely.
I don't think we're seeing Sandy again. No, he's not coming back. We have 3 more games left. He took your $40 in Iran, Jay. He took your $40, and he's never going to be seen again.
That's sad.
He stole your money.
I don't care about the money, man.
I know, and I wouldn't have cared either. But he's not back. He's running.
I'm going to have to get Reed to write a limerick about Sandy. Maybe I'll write it on, Have you heard Reed's limericks?
I heard a couple today.
They are.
And now the Huskies have scored a touchdown. This night is going, like the Elks were awful.
I think you got to leave.
The Miami Hurricanes just blew it. They're 7th in the nation. They gave up a touchdown on the last play of the game to lose to VTech. And now the Bears are just barely holding on. This is just... There's 5:44 left, so the Bears need to figure it out. But this is just not a good
I like this. I like this. Throw Caleros in the MOP race.
No.
Why not?
It's Brady. I'm sorry, Brady's been more...
You're putting Oliveira
all year. He's been more.
No.
Over Zach?
Zach's clutch, man. Like, honestly.
Yeah,
look at that tonight. He dismantled the defense that's been the league-leading defense in the second half of the
once
season.
It starts with Brady rushing for 40 yards in the first quarter. Brady was already the favorite. I'm sorry, after one performance where Caleros did exceptional. I'm not putting up Brady, who Brady himself today rushed for 86 yards. He caught the ball for 33, so he had another game of over 100 all-purpose yards, and he had a touchdown. Brady's the MOP of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and that's not changing. Brady has been on fire and has been consistently good week in and week out since he came back from an injury early this year. I went through his numbers as of week 5 throughout. He has had every game, he's had over 100 all-purpose yards for the Bombers, except one where he had 56 or something like that.
All right, you're right. I'm wrong.
Caleros has had today.
You're right.
I'm not going to anoint him ahead of Brady through one performance.
Luchez, this comes in from Stamphater. Luchez Purifoy should be on the side of a milk carton. It's been a long time since I've seen a safety be as absent as he was on big play after big play. Also, Stephen McAdoo continues to live on in Jackson's play calling. Buzz in Nebraska.
Yeah, I completely dismissed Jasmine. Rough night all around, he says. The reason for that is because I just heard that Miami blew it. I looked on my Twitter, and all I seen is WTF Miami, and Miami's my team, so I had to turn around to see what was going on.
Yeah.
And that's crushing to me.
You did diss her.
The Hurricanes matter a lot to me.
Oh, yeah. As do you, what the other 17 college teams.
I have 2 U.S. college teams. All the Bears are, or I don't know if that's a replay.
Too many.
So we're following. I have 2.
That's one too many.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
There's 150 of them down south. I just have 2 teams. Oh, thank you.
Calvin C. says chicken wing eating contest should be at every watch party. I don't know about that.
No, it's special nights.
That was fun.
Special nights. It was great.
Can you at least give me credit for doing that?
I did.
On air?
It was fantastic.
You know what was the best thing about it? Was I just said, you know what, I don't really want to qualify people. If you're going to be there and you want to eat chicken wings.
Oh, you didn't qualify people?
No.
Perfect.
So screw it. If you want to be there and you want to support EST, eat some chicken wings. And it was impressive.
Dawson Nielsen, who was in that. Sorry, boys, did we talk about not going on 3rd and 2? Yeah. It doesn't make sense outside of the only thing we said is maybe you're just looking to get some sort of points because you think that's the spark. Just to get the 0 off the board. but it still doesn't fully. It just wasn't there for me. I don't like that call, but at the same time, it is also 31-0. So, didn't really change anything. I don't think all of a sudden if they went for it and got the touchdown, we'll be talking about an Elks victory tonight. That's the other thing. I will go with that one. Run through the stats here quickly. MBT, 19 of 34, 223 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Rankin, 14 carries for 109 yards. Kevin Brown, 5 carries for 44 yards. Receiving, Eugene Lewis, 5 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Gittins Jr., 4 catches for 42 yards. Tevin Jones, 4 catches for 36 yards and a touchdown. Dylan Mitchell, 3 catches for 54 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown coming on basically the last play of the game. Justin Rankin, 2 catches for 12 yards. And Mathis, who came in, he had 5 targets, only 1 catch, though, for 7 yards. Anderson leading the way defensively with 6 tackles. They had 1 quarterback sack, Morgan getting to Zach Collaros. Boris Beatty, he was perfect on the night, 2 for 2. He also nailed all 3 of his extra points. Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
The authorities are here.
With the what?
I think the authorities are here.
Those look like Century people over there.
But he's taking notes.
Yeah, they always count numbers. Zach Collaros, 21 of 26, 432 yards and 6 touchdowns. Wilson came in relief, 1 of 1 for 4. Brady Oliveira, 16. Brady Oliveira.
Nice.
16 attempts, 16 carries for 86 yards. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, he also had 1 catch for 33 yards and a touchdown. Kenny Lawler, 8 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nick Dembski, 4 catches, 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. Wheatfall, 3 catches, 80 yards and a touchdown. Wilson, 3 catches for 41 yards. Clark, yes, 3 catches for 35 yards. Defensively, Cramdy, 6 defensive tackles. Sacks-wise, they only got to MBT once. That was with Ayers. As for Sergio Castillo, he was perfect, 2 for 2, but then also made 7 extra points because there were 7. What happened there? How did Miami win? How did Miami win?
What a night.
Well, how did that happen?
Hello, Matt.
What changed?
What a night.
Dustin Nielsen.
What a night. CFL and TSN.
I got to go figure out what's good. There's a hold reversal and Miami wins.
The craziest final. Wait, go back.
This is the craziest final play of college football you see ever. But this is like Virginia Tech wins here, but it's now been overturned and now Miami wins.
Classic finish. What is this? The Canadian Football League?
Dusty, your thoughts?
Awful.
That's good having you on the show.
To be honest with you, prior to the game tonight, I was very mad I wasn't calling this game. Turns out, great decision to not put me on this game. Like, embarrassing. It was, I got here. I missed, the first 6 minutes of the game. I was watching in the cab on the way here. Dembski had already scored a touchdown. And I don't know what they were, even on that play, I don't know what they were doing. Purifoy, the safety, is down on Dembski. Dembski heads on a post route, and Purifoy leaves him. And nobody picks him up. And that was kind of the start of the night. And then from there, it just got worse. This is a game. I don't know what you guys have been saying. I've been over there entertaining some of our AM Nasties. But
sorry, we've had a show to do.
If the reports are true from Farhan that things were trending in the right direction for Jarius and G-Roy, they're not anymore. You can't possibly. It's just.
I mentioned it was just after 8 o'clock. Tube Socks looked at me and it said something about Jarius being the coach next year. It's if you asked me 2 hours ago, I would have said there's a good chance. 2 hours later, I don't think there is a chance as much.
I think this home and home versus Winnipeg has basically sealed his fate. You decide to go back to Trey Ford. I know you're a big Trey Ford guy. I got time for Trey Ford, but you decide to go back to Trey Ford last week. After MBT had done pretty good. Calgary's different than Winnipeg. It's obvious now. But you decide to go back to Trey Ford because...
Well, you don't lose a job to injury.
Okay, fair enough. But you take Trey Ford out. To me, last week, you're down 7. Trey Ford throws that interception. They score, you're down 7. If you actually were on board with Trey Ford, do you not want to see what he's... And I know he hadn't been good in that game.
He was awful.
He was awful. But do you not want to see what he's made of? Put him back out there in that game. You're going to lose probably anyway. Let him see what happens, and then go back to MBT this week. And then MBT this week didn't play great. The defense sucked.
They were awful.
But you don't go back to Trey Ford. I don't know, man. I think it's a pretty messy situation right now. If it was me, I'd probably have time to have a conversation with G-Roy because I just don't know where the general manager market is at in the Canadian Football League right now. But I think Jarius might have sealed his fate in these last 2 weeks.
Well, and like we also pointed the 31-0, 3rd-and-2, Winnipeg 10. You go for a field goal instead of going for it.
What was that?
Like,
what was that?
I wonder if it was just get the 0 off the board.
No.
Make sure that's off.
Hey, look, man. Okay, congratulations. You get blown up by less.
Well, it's maybe
Like, you
just
have
to
to
spark
have-
the team.
Nah.
That's the only thing I could see.
I don't want to be
I'm not saying
anti-kicker guy, but nobody's ever sparked a team with a bloody field goal. You're getting shut out by 30. You're not sparking a team with a field goal. Let's be honest. Like, when I saw that, I thought, what are we, like, to me, that was 2015 Oilers. Like, nobody cares. It was just, I was very disappointed. Not that I thought they were going to come back and win, but pretend
it's
you have a
31-0.
chance. Pretend you have a chance. It's 31-0. What was it, 3rd-and-2?
3rd-and-2, Winnipeg 10.
They went for it on 3rd-and-4 when they were down 34-10 or whatever it was. It makes no sense.
Okay, here's how I would handle quarterback. Would you agree with this? You just name a starter for the rest of the year. I'm not saying who it is, but you outright come out, no matter what. If they go next week and play poor, you just let whoever you name as the quarterback the rest of the season.
You
barring
do.
injury.
No, but you do.
Barring injury.
But that person has to be Trey Ford. There is
Sure.
no, so because if you were to do that and it was MBT,
Do you think
you're
there's
not
a
going
chance
to play
MBT
George.
keeps playing?
No. I mean,
here's the scenario I'm going to play out.
If MBT takes
I know,
another snap
but here's-
this season, Trey Ford should leave.
If
Simple as that.
Ottawa beats Saskatchewan, you're 3 points back of a playoff spot. You go beat Saskatchewan next week, you're 1 point back of a playoff spot. Do you think if Ottawa wins tomorrow, does that play into Jerry's Jackson going, because this week he thought MBT gives him a better chance to win, does that give him MBT's the better guy for next year?
I'm not going to backpedal on what I said earlier. I thought MBT gave them a better chance to win tonight. Turns out it didn't matter anyway. I also said this week, I think Trey Ford gives you a better chance to win against the Riders. So no matter what, I'd go Trey Ford against the Riders. And then at that point, Trey Ford's your quarterback for the rest of the year. But here's the issue. Then all of a sudden, you're just going to Trey Ford in mop-up time. So you're trying to convince Trey Ford to stick around moving forward when you only went to him in mop-up time, which I don't think that's
actually,
the
okay,
job.
well, the flip side, if Ottawa goes beat Saskatchewan tomorrow, it's not mop-up anymore. You still have that hope for the and that would give him the confidence of, like, we're going back to. And to me, though, it's don't go game by game. Just declare it.
No, it should
We're going to go with him for the 3 games of the season. And if he plays poor, we're still sticking with him because we're going to see what we can get done with Trey Ford.
If this organization doesn't start Trey Ford for every game the rest of the season,
barring injury,
throw
that out there.
I will be stunned. I'll be stunned. Like, there are reports out there that they're already negotiating a new contract with Trey Ford. There's no chance he signs that contract if he's not starting every game the rest of the way. So I posted the most lopsided poll in the history of polls tonight on Twitter. Trey Ford starts the rest of the season. Your options were yes or no. 730 votes. 91% yes. 9% no. If the Riders lose this week, and I don't think they will, I think the Riders will win. But hey, see you later, DVD. Thanks for coming. If the Riders somehow lose this week, there's still a chance. And I think your best chance is with Trey Ford in that game. So look at this race. Look how close that was.
I have not been having a good night.
Have you actually been betting on these races throughout the night?
Yeah.
I don't know how to bet on horse races.
Letter
really.
Buck lost. I think came in. I don't even think was close in that one.
Tough.
Jay's got to go check his ticket after. He put something right
Hey,
before
did you
the
win
show.
the horse
Did you
race?
go check that ticket? You should go check it and then switch spots with Dusty.
I'm
Not
out?
kick Dusty
You're
out.
kicking
Well,
me out?
I don't know. You're here to. You're not here to work.
No, well, a lot of people left, though.
Jay's
so.
here to work.
That's
Jay's
a
supposed
good
to be
point.
working, and he's just standing around talking to Nanso.
The Elks have lost their way the last 2 weeks.
Well, I said this to Jay, and this was something I brought up last week a little bit, but I think now it holds true. We overvalue the Elks a little bit too much for their 5-6 run. 5 wins and 6 losses. Partly because look at the competition they beat. So I'll give them credit against Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan was good at the time. Okay, but if you want
Shea Patterson is not Trevor Harris.
Okay, I'll give you that. Then they got Jake Dolegala as BC Lions.
Exactly.
They got Hamilton, who had benched Bo Levi with Taylor Powell. He got hurt in the game. They were just a disaster.
Who was in that game?
Powell started. They had benched Bo for that game.
That was the game that Powell got hurt and Bo came in?
Yes.
I didn't have that. That was out east.
Yeah.
I didn't have that game. Okay.
And then they beat Calgary twice.
Yeah, they really.
And so, when we look at that, and credit to Edmonton for getting those wins, but we overvalue them going, and I was at fault. Other people were as well, but Grey Cup contenders and all of that. 30-30 Huskies, Bears. That we overvalued
Bears
that.
got to get this thing.
And now the Elks went up against a top-tier team, and they got smacked around and shown their
the problem
rightful
is
spot
that last week, that game was there for the taking, and they gave it away.
Yep.
And this one kind of went.
And then the
it was
Bombers
way
showed
worse.
up today and went, "We'll show you."
This was way worse than I expected it to be, but I expected a more limited version of what happened tonight. It was tough.
I had a feeling we were going to see a potential blowout. It was easy for picking the ball. We have our
I'm not
picks with
shocked
WSC.
with what happened.
I think it was 5 points. I
five.
easily picked Winnipeg for that one.
Did you pick him on our official picks this week? Huss was even on the Elks.
I know. Because
he texted me after me. He goes, "I can't believe what's happening."
I'm going to pick them with reads where you put points.
Did you go 4? Was it your confidence?
I put 3 or 4. You could put max 7. I no one this week I had was fully confident.
It's out of 10,
and
right?
you could have only go max 7. And I put 4, I think, on the Bombers.
What'd you do for the other picks?
BC was my other 4, or it was 3 and 3 or something like that.
13-0.
And I have 1 on Saskatchewan and I have 1 on Montreal.
Okay, well, I'll let you go. I didn't mean to jump in here.
No, it's fine. It's great talk. We never get to do a lot of shows together.
No, this is
and they're
great.
always fun. I enjoy this, but I know that you also, I don't want to take you away from, you don't get to come to Century a lot.
CFL and TSN. Decided to hop in.
Yeah, it's great. We should do this more often, every so often. What game do you got next week?
Actually, Riders Elks. I have to stay home next week, too, so it's good.
Now the chili cook-off. Yeah, get him to do his job.
How does Glue Guy on YouTube here not have his own account?
That might not be a touchscreen.
Why does he not have a touchscreen?
I don't have a touchscreen.
So, yeah, look, he's not logged in. He can't even chat on the chat.
That's a good question. He's logged in. He's never sent me his email so I could add him as an admin.
Yeah, I wanted to comment here and be like, "What's up, Nasties?"
Yeah,
but whatever. That's okay.
It's all good. Jay, you might want to come in now. That was Dustin Nielsen, Matt Iwanyk, Jay Milne with the green and gold.
He's about to do a shot, so I'll step in. Not a problem. Hey, so I got host tonight. How many catches did Curly Gittins end up with?
Yeah, somebody said the Spency 5 cents.
Oh,
he said
4.
It fell short.
All I needed was 5
Looks
from
like
Gittins.
the AST parlay was 1 short.
I needed 5 from Gittins. That is a killer.
I will say I haven't done it at all. I am in my CFL Fantasy Football.
Look at this.
I am my CFL Fantasy Football Championship this weekend.
That's a win. You won the championship.
I went heavy on Elks Bombers.
You just won the championship right there.
I had Kenny Lawler, who got 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. I have Brady, who had 86 rushing, 33 receiving and a touchdown. I had Eugene Lewis, who had 72 yards and a touchdown. I had the Bombers defense, which got a touchdown. They had their own touchdown. And then I had Sergio Castillo, who had 7 extra points and 2 field goals. I'm in great shape going into this. I have Justin McInnes for the BC Lions. He only has 9 yards right now. He's not playing well. But it doesn't matter right now for me.
Yeah, thanks to VR saying I need a wrench. I do.
Yeah, I
still don't need to know how to do that.
Yeah, he's part of one of the emails where I just need your email, the email associated to your account, and I'll add you. I could do that right now if you want.
You know what? I just want to know. Well,
I could do that.
Here's the thing.
But and just in the end, sorry for the end, for my CFL Fantasy, it's not over. I never will say it's over. But for as good of a week as you can have, or first game, I had it.
Up there, man.
I had it. This was an epic first game for just check. In fact, as the Bombers were scoring touchdowns later, people here were cheering just because I had them, and it was that was ridiculous.
You know what? That's a beautiful thing about EST, is we find things to rally around, and you were the rallying point tonight. And it's funny because you're playing Lucas, which I think if you put 2 of you in a room and said, who would you stone first?
It'd be me.
It would be you.
Well, if Lucas was here, the crowd would have been behind Lucas. Guaranteed.
I don't
Guaranteed.
know.
No,
I think
100%.
they just wanted to cheer for a winner.
But in the end, he wasn't, and I was doing well, so people were cheering for me. And I'm in a great spot to potentially win my 4th CFL Fantasy Football.
Jay looks pissed. I am pissed.
What kind of shot did you do?
I didn't do a shot.
They said you're taking a shot.
No, I bought Hernan and...
Jasmine.
I told Jasmine I'd buy her a shot with Hernan. So they bought...
How did you do? How did the race go?
Not a winner.
Oh, okay.
But it is, you know what, that is the beauty of EST as well. We have the voice of the CFL sitting right here. Why would we not Dean Faithful wait? Like, why would we not have him break down the game?
Oh, no, absolutely.
I feel actually kind of stupid because I had Zach on before him. And
Well,
that's
he
no
was busy.
disrespect
He
to
was doing
Zach.
other things.
That's no disrespect to Zach to come.
But he doesn't get to come to Century a lot, so this was
That's
like,
right.
go have some fun. Go experience Century like you and I have been doing all year. And you could still do it. We have 3 more games minimum. Probably only. We'll see. You could come here and join us, Century Casino. We're here for kickoff, post-game shows, and the games all season long. We've been here, and we'll be here for the Saskatchewan game next weekend on Saturday on October 5th.
I still worry about
Prime
Sandy.
rib sandwich.
I'm kind of sad.
When someone abandons me like that, I just don't know. I'm not going to feel sad. He left us.
No, but
He left us.
Can I say something?
Go for it.
Or do you think it's too much?
I don't know what you're going to say.
Read my mind.
I don't know what
Do you
you're
think
going
it's
to say.
too much?
I don't know.
All right. So somebody that
Maybe I would say it's if you're worried about it, let's save it for off there. That's what That's what I'm going to go with.
No. Here's what it was. It's like when you work in this kind of industry,
Yeah.
people come and
Yes.
they go, and it's a
hey.
fact of life.
I hope all is well.
Yeah.
I do. But in the joking way, he ditched us.
How long
Ditched
have
us.
we been on?
We
We have
have
time
been
for a
on.
Latino Heat segment?
We've done 55 minutes. He's not going to give us heat this year.
No, but the people are asking.
Except he's not wanting to talk about the Elks much this year because he's too close to the team. He's
Yeah.
too close to the team right now.
I think
So
it
I
would
don't
be
even
bad
want to put him
timing.
on that
Right.
spot. Right
Yeah,
now. I
you're
don't
right.
even want to
You're
put him on that
right.
spot.
Oddly enough, the Dill Pickle crew, see you later. Have a great night.
I will say this: like, there's not much left to discuss on this one, but we're not going off the air until we figure out what happens with this Bears Huskies game.
Dang right.
And
How are we at different spots?
My computer likes me. I don't know. Now we're close. The Huskies are in field goal range almost, so this isn't good. I have a MacBook.
Oh yeah, Mr. Mac over here.
I will never go back.
Once you go Mac, you can't go back.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Just overall disappointing game. When it comes, and just like, again, it's one of those. I would rather the Elks have lost today in a heartbreaking fashion and go they're so close, as opposed to a fashion where it was over after the first quarter basically, and you have people that like JC the Glazer saying this team's a complete embarrassment, which it's hard to fully argue that completely, right? Like. That's the disappointing part, where you had such a good start to this like run here, 5 of 6 it was, and now you've rattled off these 2 straight losses, and how close it was last week. How like you were right there, you could have won, and you followed it up with this performance. Like it couldn't go the other way. You could find a way to dig deep, and again, not even win, but like lose. I would have rather seen them lose on that last second field goal or something.
It's the false hope.
Yeah.
Right? It's the false hope that hurts the most. It just keeps seemingly stinging this team and their fans.
Yeah, and what else? Like, I guess tomorrow we'll find out their playoff hopes. They lose. The Ottawa wins tomorrow. The chance is there. It's not crazy to think that the Elks could still make the playoffs if they go win next week and beat the Saskatchewan Roughriders. But if Saskatchewan wins tomorrow, which I think a lot of us feel is likely to happen, it's done. Like,
can I just say that the key to my game was total turnovers. Protect the ball.
Yeah.
Well, 3-0.
Well, mine was second down conversions, and as a first half or first quarter was 6 of 7 for Winnipeg, 1 of 4 for Edmonton. Edmonton wasn't converting. Winnipeg was.
And I'm gonna guess that neither of us hit our cool bet.
No, I nailed it. Somebody, I think Spency 5 cents at the very start credited me for jumping on it. I had MBT with 1.5 touchdown passes over.
Really?
And he had 3. So
Saskatchewan's lining up for a 3rd and 6. What? This is this would be a 50.
49 or 54?
No, that's 50. This is 55. This is 50.
53, 54.
52-yard field goal.
Who went with the fajitas or the Smokies? Well, there was no fajitas.
Yeah,
It was quesadillas. A lot of quesadillas.
And VR Montenegro had a smoky.
So did Tommy.
It looked good. It looked like plump tonight.
They always do.
Yeah.
I don't let you see them because I just gobble them down. I'm all over those.
Do
I
that.
love
Say that
Smokies.
again.
No,
Do it again.
I enjoy those.
I
But Tommy was in on them, I know. Because I think Dusty was trying to what are you getting a hot dog for? I was like, well, it's a cheese and jalapeno Smoky. It's the special. It's the game day special.
Those, you know what? The waffle fries
47
though
yarder.
played pretty.
46, 47-yarder. They just showed it. We're watching the Bears and the Huskies. We're keeping you updated on
We're
what's
just
going
gonna
on.
We're just gonna call.
We can't be
play-by-play.
play-by-play. We can't do play-by-play, I don't believe. Full rights, but
Who cares? It's Canada West TV.
they're not. We're
sue
giving
me.
them credit.
Yeah,
They're not getting. I don't think they're
sue
coming.
me.
It's.
Okay, snap is the hold is down.
He got it.
Here's the snap.
Bears trail by 3 with a minute to go.
Jeez, that was a great kick. There's 54 seconds left.
What a disappointing. Just disappointing.
What?
Well, this game now. And now the Bears are going to fall.
You shut your mouth. Wash that mouth.
This is tough. This is tough. But we'll see, just moving forward, what this Edmonton Elks team does.
Well, while we're doing this, we can talk about people that we see, because that's not illegal. If you all could only see what Maddie and I get to see on a daily...
Well, they can. Come on down.
Yeah, come on down. It's a wildlife down here.
As Dash even said at one point, he says he heard a little bit of heat from Hernan today. Just got to attend the watch parties to be here with Hernan and hear some of that. So, no, it was a great crew. And thanks to Renee and the whole crew of Century Casino. I forgot our waitress's name.
I didn't say Tommy's Smoky looked plump. I said VR Montenegro's Smoky looked plump.
But she absolutely crushed it. Our waitress tonight. I forgot her name.
Oh my gosh, the whole crew did, Matt.
They
were, I think.
But we had just her looking after the majority of our tables.
Yeah.
And she was just doing a fantastic job. But no, everyone here at Century was great. They're doing a wonderful stuff, and they helped set up around the clicks. They helped you set up your wings. We got some pair of tickets to give away to the Elks.
The timing was just what you said.
What time did you order?
6 minutes left in the second quarter.
Perfect.
So they came out right as halftime got there, because I didn't want the fellas eating scalding their mouth.
No, that's a good point.
That's
a good point. That was a great point.
I wanted them to be kind of lukewarm. So you're still giving her, but...
While we wait to see what the Golden Bears do on this possession. Tomorrow on EST at 8:45.
Maybe I did say Tommy's Smoky looked plump.
No, I said Tommy's. You said you were talking about VRs.
I was talking about VR.
And then I said Tommy had one too. You said VRs.
Whatever, I'll say it right now. Tommy's Smoky looked plump too.
They always look plump. All the Smokies here.
And everything to do with Tommy's always plump.
It's tomorrow, though, the Hockey Edmonton show, 8:45. Hello Hockey with Tommy and, is it two-time dad? Is that how you word it?
Yep. No, you don't say two-time dad. Say father of two.
Father of two.
Yeah.
New father of two.
Newly father of two.
Newly father of two.
Now, Jonathan Giustini is the Bears' kicker. And he can hit from...
I don't know. They got time to get in the end zone if they move a little quicker. We're not staying on for overtime.
Why are you so far ahead?
We're not staying for overtime.
But you said we'd broadcast till the end of the game.
That's way too long.
I'll go solo.
Yeah, you haven't broadcast as much as me today on the post game.
Matt,
I
showed up to the office at 8:30. I realized I had a...
No, I'm saying this show, the post game show. See it, Tommy.
Tommy the wrench.
You put Zach on air, and then you put Dusty on the air, and you paid for two people's shots.
I didn't put Dusty on air. Dusty demanded to be on air. And
that's what I'm saying.
As the voice of the CFL and my boss, he's not your boss, he's my boss, I pretty much would say yes, sir.
I'm just saying that I was saying a post-game show, you have done less than I have voice-wise. So you have more in you to continue if you would like to.
Yeah.
But I've got nothing else to say on the Elks and the Bombers.
It's coming down.
I've got nothing else to say on Elks Bombers. So we will see what happens on this game.
It's 3rd and 10.
They're in field goal range.
They're not in field goal range.
Yes, they are.
They're on the 40-yard line.
He's kicked over 50 against the Dymos on that first game.
If you didn't interrupt me earlier, I would have informed you that he can... This is a long kick.
Yeah, but he's made it, so it's in his range.
Hamilton Tiger Cat draft pick.
that?
Jonathan Giastini.
They're going
Great
for the field
safety,
goal.
too. Great safety. Great number, 2. Fire.
Come on, buddy.
Fire. That's Davis Sanchez's old number. Friend of EST.
Oh, I don't like the angle. He missed.
He missed.
Come on, man.
He missed. The Bears fall.
He was short, too.
The Bears fall to the Huskies.
It wasn't even close.
What an awful night for the Green and Gold.
Okay.
Yeah. So, there you go.
Any final comments,
More
Boss
disappointment.
man?
More disappointment.
That's
For the Elks playoff hopes, it comes down to tomorrow. Big reason you're going to be wanting to cheer for those Red Blacks to beat the Saskatchewan Roughriders, because if they do that, there's a really good chance then. I shouldn't say that. The door is still open for the Edmonton Elks to go make the playoffs. But if the Riders get the win, we're putting a lot more of a focus on 2025. Jay, final thoughts on this game?
on to next week.
You're going to Bill Belichick me here?
It was a tough fuck game, but on to next week.
Bill Belichicking me. You have to say on to the Riders.
On to the Riders.
Or on to Saskatchewan, because he said on to the Cincinnati.
We've moved on to the Saskatchewan.
Bad performance. Starts with the defense.
Yeah, it was awful.
You could say what you want about MBT and all that, but giving up 55 points, you're not winning those football games. It's just not that simple, and you got to get some stops. And the Bombers' offense, if they wanted to score points, they did it at will today. Zach Laro, 6 touchdown passes. Kenny Lawler with 2 touchdowns. Dembski with 2 touchdowns. It was Winnipeg sending a message to the rest of the Canadian Football League that they are back to being the Bombers. Thanks to everyone for showing up here at Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for the EST watch party. It was a great time, barring the results. Round of clicks for everyone there. Thanks to everyone for tuning into the Green and Gold post-game show, whether you're listening on TuneIn, iHeart, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, watching on YouTube, or listening to the podcast. We do greatly appreciate it. Next up, Elks will be taking on the Riders October 5th. That's next Saturday. We'll be on live right here at Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge yet again for the Green and Gold kickoff and post-game shows. That game's 5 o'clock, which means we'll be on the air at 4 o'clock. We don't have shows on Monday due to Truth and Reconciliation Day, so we will be back on Tuesday with live full-day coverage. But like I said, Hello Hockey tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Before that, 8:45 is the Hockey Edmonton show. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. On behalf of Jay, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in to the Green and Gold post-game show. Elks fall to the Bombers 55-27.
But the Dunya champ sits to my left.
It's not over just yet. It's not over just yet. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night. I will chat with you on Tuesday.